Bog Monsters, Tuesday Apocalypse, Dracula Stealing Your Woman, Reading Rainbow, Wise Words from the Uninformed. Coming up next, welcome to the pit. Hey guys, pretty awesome shirt, am I right? Before we get started, I want to drop a little bit of knowledge about Reaper Apparel Company. Every minute counts, and Reaper Apparel is not only a brand, it's a life adjustment. It's awesome designs, really comfortable fit, and quality screen printing. Clothing with a positive message attached. And if you use the code Snakeden at checkout using the link in the description, you get 10% off. And at all times, free shipping on orders over $75. Reaper Apparel, get out of your comfort zone and live life fearlessly. On with the video. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the pit. Do you guys remember back in the day when YouTube first started becoming a thing? When it was all about music videos that you could find bands that you didn't even know about? There were playlists and you would find your favorite band. Well, unsigned bands started getting smart about this and started making their own playlists and interjecting their own original music into these built playlists based on bands that were popular and touring around at the time or what genre they might fall into place. That's how I discovered this next band I'm about to talk about, Ohio's Mississippi Bones. I'm going to be telling you 5 things that I think is really cool about their record, Wise Words from the Uninformed. I believe this is their 6th offering. It came out in 2020, and it is one of my favorite records from these guys. I've been a fan for about 10 or 12 years, and yes, I did discover them from one of those YouTube playlists. The album features the musicianship of Jared Collins on vocals, Dusty Donley on guitar, Jason Rector on bass, Jason Miller on drums, Heather Collins on backing vocals, and Derek Dunnison on guitars and vocals. It was mixed and mastered by Josh Palmer at Zombie Takeover Studios, and their frontman Jared Collins did the artwork himself. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Bones has been pretty consistent with their tunes throughout the years, and their 6th offering is no exception. Wise Words from the Uninformed is, while it's my favorite from their catalog, I can listen to it front to back. It's not like they've ever released anything terrible. I've always dug the album themes and the song themes that they come up with. They range from anything from 1950s sci-fi to monster movies to just great stories that they've made up. This album, it's no exception to any of that. It contains all the things you'd expect from a Mississippi Bones record, that southern swagger that they have in their guitar riffs. And that's one of the things that drew me in with those guys. They're so original in that aspect. The first thing that drew me into Mississippi Bones were the lyrics. They're clever, they're nerdy, they're fun. For example, in She Left Me for a Damn Dracula, Jared informs his ex, who left him for a vampire, that she can not only use some self-respect, but a little bit of vitamin D. You know, not that he's angry or anything. Then as a clapback to get back at her, he informs the local villagers that they have a couple of vampires holed up in their town. What a great tale of sweet revenge. And in Tiny Alien Mummy found inside LeVar Burton's Bible, Bones repurposes the chorus from the PBS show that LeVar Burton hosted, Reading Rainbow, as a pre-chorus while they tell the story about this little 3-inch mummy that was found inside a hollowed out Bible that LeVar himself owned. I think Geordie LaForge would be proud, and I also think that's clever as all get out. This could easily fall under lyrics, but it's my show, so I love the storytelling in all the Bones tunes. Bog Monster tells a story about a guy who gets knocked off by a bunch of organized crime members and they dump him in the swamp. but he rises and then comes back and exacts his revenge on all them folks that wronged him. Kinda in the vein of Swamp Thing, except cooler because it's a song. El Cucuy is the Mississippi Bones take on a tale of the Mexican boogeyman who snatches up kids who misbehave. And once again, one of my favorite tracks on the record, in case you didn't notice, She Left Me for a Damn Dracula, is about someone getting dumped for a vampire, and they go through the standard tropes of being left behind, and they're in total denial about how their relationship fell apart and the other person moved on, and they're plotting their payback and revenge. That's just something I always thought was really cool about Mississippi Bones, is the things they put into their stories, what they build the stories around. So it's super rad. Bones songs are always well constructed. I absolutely love their multi-person harmonies. It's just incredible. Derek, Heather, and Jared blend together in such a way that they sound like one amazing, huge voice. And that's super noticeable in Grand Magus of the Hibernial Thunder Cult and in the chorus of the Butcher's Diner. And you can tell they don't release much that doesn't have that certain Mississippi Bones swagger. They construct each song so well that outside of that consistent swampy guitar tone, each song takes on its own identity. And it's a lot of fun to recognize one of their Mississippi Bones songs, but hearing a new layout, a new story, or a new presentation. The way they constantly stick to the same sound, but don't completely beat it into the ground, and every song's brand new, the way they reinvent themselves, is truly a gift, and it's one of the things that I appreciate about this band the most. I can't stress to you enough how much I loved this album's artwork. The album jacket looks just like a tabloid magazine, which is the theme that they're going for, and it complete with advertisements. And I think it's super rad how they made the table of contents the track listing with a little editor's corner note. But don't worry, you too can experience Mississippi Bones from the comfort of your own home. And, you know, if you got yourself a tabloid magazine, you need to have a cool logo, which they imprinted on the disc, which looks super clean, basic, to the point. That's all you really need. You know the name of the record. And you can't have a tabloid magazine without the classifieds. If you look closely in the for sale section, there's some really neat inside jokes that I like. That, once again, just displaying these guys' creativity and sense of humor. So if there's one thing that, like, this should definitely catch your attention, if nothing else. So for anybody that really likes Clutch, or bands that have that real southern guitar tone like Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, or if you're really into any sort of hard rock or any rock and roll or metal, like, I think that you'll be extremely pleased with this record. If you're interested in old sci-fi movies, Universal monsters, comic books, anything in that nature that could be considered fun, you'll really like not only this record, but I think you'll like Mississippi Bones. And before we get going, I gotta give a big shout out to Triple Nickel Distillery. I book shows in the Weedville area, and they have been hooking up the bands that come through with some welcome packages and stuff like that. So I gotta give my hat off to them, because those guys care about local unsigned bands. And for those of you that are still with us at the end of this, please, I'm telling you, don't just take my word for what's going on with Wise Words from the Uninformed. Check it out for yourself. We'll see you later.